to someone, one of my colleagues jokingly this morning, I think I'm going to stop requesting the roads that I would like to see fixed and ask for different roads, and then they might fix the road that I would like to see fixed. Because at the end of the day, Madam Chair, it's not for me, but it's for the people of St. Martin to be able to enjoy a smooth ride. Because right now, if I ask for Arch Road again, or Madam Estate, or maybe Sucker Garden from the Flanders go up, I'm being told, hey, listen, they're going to do something else. When I ask about Union Road and all these different things, they do something different. So I'm going to devise a strategy to see how the calculation goes, to see if you point them in one direction, if they go somewhere else. But in all seriousness, Madam Chair, that road is in a very deplorable state, and I would urge the government, please, based on the $6 million that is, well, it's gone down by now, please make that the next road that has the attention so that we can alleviate traffic and allow those residents to finally get some peace. Because when I wanted to do it, we had already run up the $2 million bill that is on a monthly basis, and I had to make a choice. I had to make a choice with Bush Road. I had to make a choice with Union Road. So, Minister, please make this road the next priority. Madam Chair, I move on to questions that I had for TIAT with respect to how much the causeway has cost the people of St. Martin. I got a good breakdown from 2024 to 2035 with respect to the remainder that needs to be paid. I also mentioned, and my colleague alluded to it as well in terms of the GB motion and the DB saga, no matter how we try to twist and turn it, the causeway has driven up the cost of living, it has driven up the fuel clause, it has driven up the throughput fees and all these different things. It's tied to each other. I just would like to know, from 2014 to now, or from its inception, let me don't say 2014, from its inception, how much has the causeway cost the people of St. Martin? Because then we would be able to understand why certain things are the way they are. And then the people could have a clear understanding as to where we are and where we're going. Madam Chair, through you, again, when the minister sat here and he mentioned about the 1.2 million and so forth, can we expect it then in the 2025 budget? Because I know we have exhausted the question in terms of seeing it in this current budget. I know that a note of unwising was received. I'm not sure about the content of it. I didn't get the opportunity to peruse it as yet. But am I to understand that it will be in the 2025 budget? And also the Minister of Romy, through you, Madam Chair, mentioned an intent was signed or something of that sort. I asked for clarity. When was it signed and by whom it was signed? No answer, no response, just a bunch of fluff and carriers all over the world, but no response to the direct question that was posed. So if it wasn't clear, I'd do it. Madam Chair, I hate to be here reciting questions that we already posed during the Central Committee, because that is kind of a double, kind of repetitive in the ears of the people. But Madam Chair, I have to be clear, because if I have to read these answers that we receive, I think the general public would cry shame based on what we receive here. And I look forward to the MP posting it online as well, so that I can also share it, because I find it quite unfortunate. Madam Chair, with respect to the long lease policy, through you, the minister mentioned that it will take 12 to 18 months. And my question was, can you break down the 12 to 18 months for the land policy, while there's clear that a former MP that so-called started a draft that sat in Vromy was picked up by a current cabinet member working with the minister at this point, who executed the draft policy that I presented in Parliament. So you have all the key stakeholders there, and you also have the head of policy who played a pivotal role in putting this together and coming to fruition. Now you're telling me in October of 2024, you need 12 to 18 months? And when I put emphasis on the 12 to 18 months, we see the minister say now it changed from 6 to 18 months. I mean, this is written, Madam Chair. The land issuance and pricing policy is part of the E7. Vromy foresees hiring of technical assistants in 2025, January, From then, a timeline to draft and finalize the policy will take about 6 to 18 months, depending if the existing national ordinance to be adjusted or renewed. As long as the policy is not in effect, the government land will not be issued in principle, will not be issued. Then we come with the in principle of the reissuance, which I'm guessing they're tying into what they did already. So is this now a retroactive correction of what you did wrong because we highlight it? And then you want to talk about integrity and party for progress and all these type of things. Madam Chair, I just need some clarity on those points. Because the people have the right to know, and the people need the facts. I rest my case with those clarifications for now, Madam Chair, and I can guarantee you I will not be going into the second round to rehash questions that I pose very clearly in simple English, again, so that the government can give clarity, so that I can go back to my constituents and relay what was not clear to them. Because when I was there, when we were there, the rules seem to have been different. And I always, in my humble opinion, stuck to the rules based on the principles that I know and what I was taught. So therefore, I would like to see those that claim to know it best exercise those same principles. Madam Chair, I would like to present a motion. This draft motion presented to the Parliament of in the Parliament of St. Martin in its public meeting today, October 29, 2024, considering that civil servants have not received the cost of living adjustment for over a decade until we approve it during our last tenure, that the passing of civil servants places a financial burden on their family, particularly considering funeral costs, that the current funeral assistance for deceased civil servants are set at a maximum of 4,500 guilders, which was established in 1995 and has not been adjusted to account in the increase of costs associated with funeral costs over the years, that the amount does not adequately cover full expense of funeral in today's economy, leaving families with additional costs during their time of grief, that enhancing this benefit is a compassionate and supportive measure for the family of civil servants who will dedicate their careers to serving the people of St. Martin. Resolves to call on the Minister of General Affairs responsible to revise the current funeral cost assistance benefit for active civil servants who passed away while in service to the increased amount of 12,500 guilders, which basically lines up with the approximately $6,000 to $7,000 per funeral in today's time. Further resolves that this increased funeral cost not be deducted from any other statutory benefits entitled to the next of kin of an active civil servant that passed away in duty. That the revised benefit amount be implemented promptly to support families more effectively during their time of need, and goes over to the order of the day. A copy of this will be sent to His Excellency and also the Council of Ministers. Madam Chair, I do not want for the misconception to be brought up that I'm only bringing this up now because of the current situation that our family find ourselves in, because I don't want it to apply to this situation. I want it to apply once it's established by the government. And I've been talking about this for quite a while based on the experience that I had as a member, as a Council of Ministers. The motion is supported by 6 MPs. Thank you for the opportunity, Madam Chair, and I look forward to clarity, and I really hope that I don't have to come back on these questions again. Thank you.
Thank you, MP Doran. I will be having a discussion with members of Parliament, not in this session, but in another session, regarding the presentation of motions so that we can deliberate on the customary practice regarding submission of motions vis-a-vis doing it differently. And so we'll have that discussion rather than I having to answer to everyone who presents a motion in the first round rather than in the second round. I think there are arguments for both manners or ways to do it. But as I mentioned, that will be, I'll have a separate discussion with all members on that. So thank you, MP Doran. Members of Parliament, ladies and gentlemen, we are now going to adjourn until 1:45 p.m. So 1:45, 1:45 p.m., and then we will continue with the meeting and the speakers. Meeting adjourned.